Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a somewhat smaller video. I'm going to be mixing a sequence here for my December daily, and I thought I'd share with you guys. I'm using this really cute bowl. I mean, it is so stinking cute. Look at its little face. I can't stand it. I got that from Target. So here's my sequence. I have a ton. Ordered it from all over the place, some from AliExpress, some from Target. I have these really cute gold snowflakes, so I'm going to be mixing together just a sequence here. I'm showing you an up-close look at this gold snowflake, and then I also have these tiny little snowflakes. They're pink. I got these from AliExpress. They're so small you can hardly see them, and they're so stinking cute. I love the color. So they're this like iridescent pink, or like soft, very soft pink. I also have these swans, and they're also super tiny, iridescent, like a translucent color. So I might use those, I might not. I think I ended up not using them. And then let's see, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Here I'm showing you the different papers that I'm using. So I want it to match my December daily, and like I said, I'm using a mixture of crepe paper collections. So I love trying to pull the colors to match. So I really like these colors. They're very fun and soft colors. So there's pinks and blues and greens and gold tones in there. So I like doing that. I like collecting like the scraps and trying to match my sequence mix to the collections that I'm using. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that does that, but how do you do it? Do you also kind of try to pull the colors from the papers that you're using? And so anyways, we'll go ahead and get started. I like putting my foundation first. I'm going to be putting a mixture of whites and iridescent colors in here, and this just basically sets the foundation. This is like the main color that kind of brings everything together. I like using a bunch of different sizes, a bunch of different like translucencies, if that makes any sense. Is that a word? So basically from more translucent to iridescent to more solid whites, and that just sets up that really nice foundation. And now we're going to move on to starting to add those sprinkles of colors. And so I'm going to start off by adding the tiny little pink snowflakes, because I definitely want there to be quite a few of those since they're so small, and then it kind of blends in pretty well with the background. So it's an additional layer to my background color. So mix those in really well. And with the bowl, it's kind of hard to see like those color differences, but I do bring in a white paper, and I like seeing my sequence on that white paper, and I can see it better than in the bowl. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some of this blue. I love it. It's different sizes of flat circles, and it kind of just reminds me of snow. They're super cute, so add some of that in there. Seeing the progress as I go, adding a little bit more. So you can see here, it's starting to come together. When I add blue and pink, sometimes that scares me because it's like, oh, does it really go? But when you add layers, it starts blending in pretty well. So I'm going to add some of this pink here. So this is more of a cup sequence, and it's iridescent. I have another one, but that one's more of a flat sequence, and it kind of, when it's in a cup, it kind of bounces that iridescent a little bit more. So mix that up nice and good, and you can start seeing that come together really nice. And now we're just going to go ahead and add some of these gold snowflakes, because there is accents of gold, and I'm only going to add a few because they're so large. I don't want it to come off like overpowering of my sequence mix. So I think that's a good amount right here. So we'll go ahead and mix that up, and then we can check to see what our progress is. And like I mentioned, I use a white sheet so I can go ahead and see the mix a lot clearer. The white just allows me to see those colors mixed in really well, and I'm really liking how that's coming along. When I have it here on the sheet, I also like to add additional sequins on there instead of adding it to the bowl. Just in case I don't like it, I can toss that out and I don't contaminate the rest of the sequence. So here you see, if I like it, then I'll just dump everything back in the bowl and add more of that particular sequence. Now I'm going to continue to add more colors because there's just a lot of pink, and there needs to be a little bit more of a contrast or a little bit more blue, so I'm adding more of those little circles because there is a lot of pink in there, like I said, and then with the iridescent it kind of pulls that pink a little more. So adding a little bit more blue in there will definitely balance it out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and check my other sequins because as if I didn't have enough, I have even more. So I'm checking my other sequence of what I want to throw in there. I see these large snowflakes but think they're too big, and I already like the gold ones that I had chosen. And then just checking out my inventory if there's anything I would like to add to my mix. I always like adding seed beads to my mixes because it just adds another texture in there, so I'm definitely going to add some of these clear ones. And then I found that I have this chunky glitter and I want to add some of that in there as well. Keep adding some iridescence, and that adds to my base color that I had, my foundation colors. So I'm gonna mix that in really nice, and I'm gonna add a few more things. But before I do that, I want to check my progress so far again on that white sheet of paper. And this will let me add some more sequins into my sample so I can see if I like it, because I feel like it needs a little bit more of like green tones in there, and the closest that I have to green is this jade, and I really like how that looks. I also wanted to see how this darker blue purple might look in there because there are some dark blues, so I'm putting that in there, but I don't really like how that looks, so I'm going to take those out and keep just the jade green and mix that all together. So by doing the mix like of a sample, you are allowed to see if you like a particular addition on there. So I'm checking it out. It doesn't look bad, I just felt that it just didn't go quite well with the mix. So you don't contaminate the rest of it, you don't pour too much in there and you're like, oh no, I don't love it. So I just take those out, no big deal, and I keep on my merry way. So I go ahead and add some more of that jade green in there, and I mix it all together, and I pour in a little bit more of the pink snowflakes in there, and I mix it all together, and I decide that there's not enough gold. Oh, and I throw in some more pink in a different shade just to kind of add some contrast in there. And I decide to add these gold chunky glitter just because I felt that the snowflake gold wasn't enough and it needed a little bit more in there, and I really loved how that turned out. I think it just pulled everything together. I also decide to add some plain white in there just to add a little bit more variation in those white tones and mix all that together. And now I think the mix is pretty much complete. I'm going to go ahead and again check it one last time on the white paper so I can see those colors pop out, and I really love how it turned out. And it just matches really well, and I really loved how it turned out. Let me know down in the description if you enjoyed this video, if you like sequin mix videos, and if you did, make sure you go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, go and check out my December daily preparation videos, and let me know if you are doing a December daily yourself, and if you are, do you incorporate shakers in your pockets? I think they're just super fun. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye!